Yes.
Very good. Now we move on to test of proportion. What is the difference between mean and proportion? Can somebody tell me the difference between mean and proportion? What is the difference between mean and proportion? What is mean?
Mean is average, sir. Proportion is
Average.
Average.
percentage.
Beautiful. All of you write the black belt exam and I get your mark. Can I calculate average? I can
Yes.
calculate.
Yes.
The mean of your test performance can be calculated. But after completing the exam, I realized out of 20 people, 19 of you score very high mark and you qualify. And maybe one candidate score less. Now, what is the success rate of the batch? What percentage of students have qualified for the title black belt? Come on, please.
95%.
Yeah. 19 divided by 20, 95%. What is this 95% called? This 95% is called the proportion, right? Proportion of people qualified for the title. So there is a difference between proportion and average. I use average for continuous data. I use proportion for countable data. What is countable data? 19 out of the 20 qualified. How did I know 19 qualified? By counting. 19 people scored above good marks, required mark. So 19 qualified. So when you this countable data or discrete data, or sometimes we call them attribute data, because attribute data always you can convert into some number, right? So at the discrete data, we calculate proportion. And now when I compare the proportion with a standard reference value, for example, generally the pass percentage, or I would yes, pass percentage is a proportion. Do you now understand? Pass percentage is a proportion, it's not average, right? Let us say our pass percentage is our track record is 90%. I want to understand whether the this particular batch is performing according to the history, or you are performing above, or you are performing below. I want to understand this particular 10th batch of black belt in this period is performing better than the history, or is performing inferior to the past performance. And now I will calculate your proportion and compare with the reference proportion. The proportion of a batch, when you compare with proportion of the reference, that is called what? One proportion test. Clear? Determine whether the proportion of an event observed in a group differs significantly from the specified value. For example, 95% of you qualify this batch, but our history is 90%. Do you understand the situation? 95% of you qualify this time, but our history is 90% only. Does it mean this batch of students performed better than the previous batch? Can somebody tell me?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, suppose you your pass percentage is 85%. What is the history? History is 90%.
90.
Now can I conclude this particular batch training was not conducted properly?
No.
Shall I go and make drastic changes?
No.
Why? This 5% can be within the plus or minus of your confidence limit. Am I right? The 5%, what you observed as the difference, can be within your confidence limits. If it is within, see, always there is variation. When we talk about the life of human being in India, we talked about 80 plus or minus 20. If the difference what you observe is lower than the plus or minus 20, will you still be able to consider the difference as significant? No. Sometimes the difference what you see in your data may be significant, may not be significant. It depends on your confidence limits. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So you have to be careful and compare the difference, no, and understand whether the difference what you observe is really significant or not, according to the confidence level you are maintaining, right? And so whether it is plus 5% or minus 5%, it may be significant or may not be significant. It depends on the confidence limit. Done. And now, two proportion test. What is two proportion test? I have 10th batch. I also have 9th batch. I compare the performance of 10th batch and the 9th batch and wanted to know, appreciate a single one particular batch. I am concluding that 10th batch has performed extraordinarily than the 9th batch. So we wanted to reward you additionally. Now this testing is two proportion test. The rejection in one of the machine is higher than another machine. The rejection in machine number 2 is higher than rejections happening from machine number 1. But so far I thought machine number 1 and 2 are performing at the same level. But now I understand machine number 2 produce more rejection. Now what is this study? Two proportion test, because rejection is a proportion. Am I right? Number of units rejected divided by total units produced. Am I correct or not? Yes, can I get a yes?
Yes.
So you need to, yeah, proportion we calculate whenever our data is countable data, defects and defectives or discrete data. Done. And now I have more groups. There are 10 groups available and I want to study all the 10 together. I have all the data. I have 10 machines. I will study all the 10. I have 10 suppliers. I have 10 vendors. I have 10 different combinations of my, composition. Which composition can get me more result? These are all the situation, you will go for chi-square test. Chi-square test can be a replacement to two proportion test. I do chi-square test to study two groups. I do chi-square test to study more than two groups also. It can be 10, it can be 20. But two proportion test cannot be a alternative to chi-square test because it will spoil your resource, over consume your resource, right? But you can manage to do, and then your accuracy will go down and your confidence level will go down. At the same time, you will lose a lot of resource. So chi-square test should be used for two or more. Is it clear? Test of proportion?
Yes, sir. Sir, can we say that proportion test is applied where the population size is known?
Population?
Size is known.
No. You need not know the population size. Only when you are able to calculate the proportion, that is good enough. See, proportion is, a small portion of the population.
Yeah, okay. But is it not sample then?
Yes, it. See, say for example, your company maintains a track record that 10% is the rejection so far. 10% rejection. Suddenly last month, the rejection is found to be 15%. 10 increased to 15. And now you wanted to understand, now you will definitely suspect, something seriously, deviated. Your process, somebody is not followed. So you will revisit and then do it. That 10% what you believe, is based on the population only. That means there is some history available, a considerable amount of data is available. And as you said, you can assume that the population size is known. That's how the information is available. And you can do that. Sometimes the information may also be a reference. May also be a reference, right? Because that itself may be a sampling study, and then they keep it as the reference, and you can compare your data with the reference. So whether your population size is known, that's well and good. You can be more accurate with your reference value. But if the reference itself may be calculated using a sample also. Very good question. Fine. So now.
Hello. Sir, can it be termed as this is a test for attribute data? mostly.
Yes, yes.
For variable data, it could be the test of
Correct,
mean.
correct. You're right. You're right. Attributes, very good. How many male candidates are attending the program and how many female candidates are attending the program? And there are 15 out of 20 are male and 5 out of 20 are female. 75% is male, 25% is female. Initially attribute data, but finally ended up two different proportion. Good. This is test of attributes, correct. And now a campaign response is compared against a reference response rate of 6.5%. A digital campaign is floated. Maybe you are doing a digital marketing. So far, the response is 6.5%. What do you mean by 6.5%? If 1,000 people see your campaign, your advertisement, maybe how many people respond? 65 people will take action. Do you understand? When 1,000 people see your advertisement, 65 people take action. Maybe they inquire, they come to your site and visit your product, and there are many things they do. So what is the response rate? 6.5%. And now you are now launching a new campaign, and in the new campaign you want to understand whether the new campaign can perform better than the previous reference or lower than the previous reference. And now what is this study called? Is it a 1 proportion or a 2 proportion, or is it a chi-square test?
1 proportion test.
One proportion.
One campaign against a reference. 1 proportion against a reference proportion. You change the scenario or like whatever you want, right? The proportion of team member, the proportion of member per team, performing as per the requirement, or the number of projects you complete every month. That is a proportion. And the reference is generally every team completes at least 5 projects per FT. Every month your team completes 5 projects per FT. And now this month it is increasing, it is decreasing. You can study the performance in terms of proportion compared to the reference. There are 2 copier machines, copier machine X and copier machine Y. You use 2 brands. Copier machine X you use, copier machine Y also you use in your company. Your company has hundreds of offices. In hundreds of locations your company exists, and some of your office use copier X, some of your office use copier Y. Now for the next year you want to buy 10 more copier machine. Now will you buy copier X or copier Y? Can somebody explain how do you take decision? Last 10-20 years you are using both copiers, copier X and copier Y, because you believed that both of them can perform equally. So you always place half numbers to X, half numbers to Y. But next year you wanted to be much more accurate. You wanted to go with the copier which can give you failure-free operation. Am I right?
Yes.
Or no?
Yeah.
How will you take a decision? Last 10 years, how many times copier X has failed? Last 10 years, how many times copier Y has failed? How many service calls were done for X? How many service calls were done for Y because of a failure? What is that you are checking? The proportion. Am I right? The proportion of failures for copier X is compared with proportion of failures with copier Y. And what this study is called what? 2 proportion test. Every day you use hypothesis testing in your business. And now you have one more option. Not only copier X, copier Y, you have copier Z also. Now your study will be called what? Chi-square test. The procedure will be taught to you. Don't worry. Dr. RK will teach you, and he will also give you a Excel template which will again take care of the laborious calculation, and people will equip you on Minitab also. And now you have 4 offices. Your office, north, south, east, and west. and you are heading the entire, all the units. You are responsible for the performance of all the 4 branches. And now you want to understand any particular branch is producing more defective. You have 4 plants, 1 plant in north, 1 plant in south, 1 plant in east, and 1 in west. And all of them do the same work. They produce the same product. But in one of the plant, the rejections are found to be higher. And you wanted to reduce the order to that particular plant, giving you more rejection, right? And now, how will you study? You will study the data of north plant, study the data from south, study the data from east and west. Let us say all the company, let's say this north plant maintains a rejection percentage of 10%. This maintains a rejection percentage of 10.25. This maintains east office, right? East plant maintains a rejection percentage of 10.50. And west maintains a rejection percentage of 10.75. Now tell me, will you now try to differentiate your plants, or you will treat them equally? As a leader should always take correct decision, right? Now I have given the situation. Your north plant gives a rejection of 10%, south 10.25, east 10.5, and west 10.75. To which plant you will give more increment to people? Will you give more increment to north plant people, or you give more increment to west plant people, or will you give equal increment?
North plant people will get more increment.
North plant people will get more increment. Are you exhibiting proper leadership role now? If you give more increment to north, will it not upset the south, east, and west people?
They will
Understand
accept.
the consequence? Come on. You understand the consequence or not?
Yes.
You understand the consequence. You can do that, but you have to be doubly sure you must do that. Otherwise, just to encourage 1%, you are killing 3%.
Yes.
So you have to be doubly careful. You have to understand whether the 10, 10.25, 10.5, and 10.75, is that the difference is really significant for you to differentiate the performance. Clear? So that is where the hypothesis testing comes into picture. Chi-square test you can make use. It will guide you to take decision. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Test of proportion is over now. I think it is also the time for tea break. I stop here, and then we'll continue after the tea break. Are we going good with hypothesis testing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, yes, sir.
So, Priya madam, are you available?